That was a good game. That was a good game. Let me put a pause to that. That was a really good game, man. I haven't done this in a while. But I'm going back to my roots, the selfie video. Opening match of the new and improved FIFA Club World Cup. I had visions of this. I had visions of FIFA having a 32 team Club World Cup instead of the little mini Club World Cup they usually have. And I never, ever find the time to watch because it's never available on the apps that I have to my disposal. So usually I never really watch it. Even when my team City are playing and, well, the one time we actually made the Club World Cup and won it, I didn't watch the thing because I didn't have access to the thing. But now that I have access to it, I have to say I thoroughly and utterly enjoyed the first match, the opening match between Alhy FC of Egypt and Inter Miami CF of course, Miami, USA, owned by David Beckham, spearheaded by Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets, and of course, Lionel Messi. Let me say this. I've never watched Alhy play, never in my life. And this is the first match I've ever seen of Inter Miami. I don't really watch MLS. But I must say, I was truly entertained. What a game. What a game. And I think both teams would walk away from this game, ruin the opportunity to pick up 3 points because this is a tough group that has Palmeiras and Porto who are scheduled to play tomorrow. And the other games coming up tomorrow, let me just touch on that before I forget to mention. Bayern Munich versus Auckland City FC. That one is a mismatch. But who knows? Maybe there'll be a giant killing tomorrow. And PSG will take on Atletico Madrid in Group B. Of course, I said Palmeiras would take on FC Porto up in the MetLife Stadium. That's a Group A match. And we also have a Group B fixture between the Brazilian team Botafogo and Seattle Sounders FC. I'm going to attempt to watch as many games as possible. I'm not guaranteeing doing previews or doing a review for every game, but the games that I watch, I'm going to try to actually talk about them. But let's talk about the game at hand, man. I'm not trying to be long-winded either because I didn't take notes or anything. I was just trying to enjoy the game. Ahly would feel like they should have walked away with all 3 points because in the first 45 minutes of the game, they were the better team. That penalty miss, the saves by Ustari, they would be like kicking themselves like, God damn, they could have won this game. They could have been 2-0 up at halftime and they could have just, set up more defensively in the second half and, see out the game for 3 points. This is, I think this is the first competitive game for their manager, Jose Rivero. I don't know these guys like that, to be honest. I'm not gonna stay here and lie and act like I know everything about these teams. I really don't. You see what I'm saying? But Javier Mascherano, of course, I know from his days at Barcelona and the Argentina national team, and it was, you could summarize this game by saying it was a game of two halves. Alhy won the first half, should have scored. Ustari came up with some big saves. You could even blame the attackers for not putting the balls away. And Trezeguet, he never looked confident on that penalty. And Avila, he should have been sent off. Definitely should have been sent off. Thomas Aviles, he should have been sent off, and he was substituted like a halftime because Mascherano was like, woo, we dodged the bullet there. So Alhy should have taken all 3 points, messed up in the first half, but Inter Miami, strong finish to the first half, and they came back in the second half, and they were the better team. They were behind in, I think, the shooting stats, the more attacking stats, they were behind, but they came back in the second half, and I'm telling you, they look good. They look really good. They were cooking in the second half. So in terms of some stats here, let me see if I could get you guys some stats. Total shots, 15 attempts on goal for Inter Miami, 7 on target compared to 10 shots for Alhy, 8 on target. So they were definitely more attacking, and they just turned their fortunes around, in my opinion. They look shaky in the first half. They're missing some key players. The defense is young. They were keeping a high line, and Alhy was just getting behind and, causing them a lot of trouble. But they held on, and I think as the game progressed, they really, they got their composure together, and they were able to just have Lionel Messi do his thing. And if it wasn't for El Shaarawy, Inter Miami, let me not say Inter Miami would have definitely gone on to win this game. Big saves. Look at that save at the end there. A couple saves with the bunch of corners, but that Messi shot, the tip over, the Fafa Picard, the header, the last header there by Falcon. Listen. El Shaarawy, and there was a close range shot that he saved as well. Both goalkeepers were the heroes in this game. Few senseless yellow cards picked up by Suarez and Busquets. Hopefully for them, it don't come back to bite them in the butt. But it was an entertaining game. Let me just say that, man. I don't want to be too long-winded and all over the place. Maybe the referee would come under some criticism for not sending off Aviles when he should have been sent off. But I guess he was just being a bit lenient. But listen, this is a big competition. This is a big competition. You can't be lenient. You got to be more stern, and you got to play the game by the rules. If the player deserves to get sent off, send him off. But if this game is a sign of what's to come for the Club World Cup, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. Man City is my team. I'm definitely looking forward to the games. And I haven't even looked at the fixtures properly yet. So City are actually going to play, god damn, when is our first game? Wednesday against Wydad Casablanca. That might be, that's the team from Morocco, right? Yeah, I think so. Anyways, yeah, Wednesday. So, wow, 12 o'clock. I'm going to try to catch as many games as possible. But, guys, don't mean to be long-winded. I think, Alhy would walk away feeling like they should have gotten 3 points from the match. And I think Inter Miami, even though they feel like they could have also won it, 1 point, I think they'll be happy. I definitely think they'll be happy. And the next games in this group will be definitely ones to watch, man. So let me see. For Palmeiras, they come up against Alhy's next game is against Palmeiras on Thursday. And for Inter Miami, on the same day, they play FC Porto. So that one's definitely going to be interesting. Keep an eye on Group A, guys. There's, a lot of games coming. Listen, it's going to be hard to keep up with because this is not like the FIFA World Cup where, I'm very knowledgeable about the countries and I do a lot of research leading up to the World Cup like in the past. This is all new stuff to me. These are all new players to me. I'm learning as I'm going. This reminds me of World Cup 98 when I didn't know a thing about these players and I had to learn and I had to, just write down names and just study this thing. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts down below on the game. Subscribe if you're new, like the video if you haven't yet done so. And until next time, peace out. Rich Squad. Peace. Guys, we talk soon, man.